win. Elijah's against Kazarian. Flip a coin. AJ Francis against Nick Nemeth. Flip a coin. Who's Bernie Kosar?
Never heard that name in my life.
He played for the Cleveland Browns and a bunch of other teams. Okay, so the Nick Nemeth is going to be accompanied by a football player. Okay, sure, whatever. Francis was like in the NFL or something too, I think. So maybe there's something there. Trey Miguel's up against Mustafa Ali for the international title, which I could very well see changing hands. Mickie James, ODB, and Taryn Terrell are in a 6-woman hardcore country tag team match against the Elegance brand. So I'm assuming the hardcore country woman wins the hardcore country match. Moose against Special Agent Zero. Let's give it to Moose. Ariana Grace against Lei Ying Lee over the TNA Knockouts World title. Could go either way, but I think Grace is probably retaining. And the Hardys are defending the tag titles against Bear Bronson and Brian Myers of the System, which, maybe titles change hands? I don't know.
What happened to the what's their names?
Righteous?
Thank you.
They had a tables match on Impact last night and lost.
Do that on the show. Okay, sure. Look, what?
I don't know. If they do something crazy on this show, I mean, beyond the idea that, like, they think that the EC3 thing's probably going to be like, oh my god, EC3, or like a title change or something, then, we'll address that in some fashion, whatever, but I'm anticipating just a regular types of show, and if there's nothing else that you guys got in mind, we can transition to when TNA doesn't want people to wrestle.
But yeah, that's anything I have to say about this show stems from that as well.
So they are not liking the idea of their talent facing AEW talent, and they switched up. Was it 2 matches for an upcoming show? Nick Nemeth was supposed to go up against MJF, and what was the other one?
It was supposed to be Ricochet versus Leon Slater.
And yeah,
Ricochet and who?
Leon Slater.
Leon. And they decided, well, we don't want that for whatever reason. I haven't seen. Did they say exactly why?
Yeah, because it conflicts with partners. Meaning WWE probably said, hey, we don't want your guys, especially one that is so closely associated with us in Ziggler, and one that is so closely associated with us, and the guy we're definitely taking from you as soon as his contract is up in Slater, wrestling AEW guys.
It's so fucking obvious, dude. That's the thing. It's so fucking clear.
Because how are you going to tell me that, this just came up? No, this came up because it probably finally got on their radar when they said, Ziggler versus MJF? Can we not do that? Can we stop them from doing that? Okay, cool.
I mean, these things are just like the pettiest of petty bullshit because, the match between Ricochet and Leon Slater was for a memorial show.
Yeah,
that they were going to be the main event of for WrestleCon. And it's like, why step in between all this stuff? Because it's just a case of like, the idea being like the partner conflicts for WWE, or just a case that they just don't want their wrestlers to appear inferior to AEW wrestlers, which again is just such petty bullshit because they wrestle on alternative shows. Funnily enough, they didn't. It's just on on an indie show that people in attendance and some other people may watch, but it's not going to affect their perception of people. But then, funnily enough, they didn't cancel the Mercedes Moné Jody Fret match where Jody Fret beat Mercedes to win one of her titles. So I guess if the TNA person's going over, then they're totally fine with it.
Yeah.
But and they also, according to reports, TNA also stopped a match happening between Bear Bronson and MJF on a GCW show. And so that sucks for GCW because it means that they missed out on MJF being on that show or wrestling on that show. Sucks for Bear Bronson because that would have been a huge opportunity for him to wrestle a guy like MJF on a show. I just have to wonder what TNA talent feel about this, because it's just taking money off their table, or if they're like paying them, it's still an opportunity to perform, and they just, if they want to wrestle, and TNA don't pay people enough.
Wow! Look at me! I found an app where I can watch all movies and TV shows for free. Not only that,
Just, if they want to wrestle, and TNA don't pay people enough to stop them from working independent shows, and on independent shows you might run into AEW talent because they're allowed to work indie shows as well, and it's a good opportunity for them, because AEW wrestlers are among the best wrestlers in the world, because, you have to be among one of the top two promotions. So, yeah, I think that this is just such petty bullshit for a company that has ideas well beyond their station because they're partnered with WWE. A company that could drop them at the... if as the moment, or let's say, if this instant AEW died as a promotion, this relationship between TNA and WWE would be done. Because they wouldn't need them anymore. Or they wouldn't feel like they need them anymore. So it's only their petty bullshit that's getting in the way. I think apparently there was also the issue that Carlos Silva, who's the obviously the owner and operator of TNA president, was unhappy that AEW aired Collision on Thursday last week. Because obviously Impact takes place on a Thursday, so apparently siphoning, the 10 viewers that watch Impact every week, apparently they might have gone over to watch Collision instead. But that's not even an AEW decision, that was a Warner Brother Discovery decision, because AEW much prefers to go on the Saturday when there's college football or basketball or other game, because it gets them a good lead in to the show. So they would have much rather have been performing on Saturday rather than Thursday. But apparently they're super upset about AEW making the decision to take some of their viewers away by putting Collision on that night instead. So yeah, I think it's just a company that feels like they're a bigger deal than they are, and because they aren't, or because WWE feels like they can utilise them to their advantage in any way possible. I mean, they talk about making their wrestlers look inferior if they lose to AEW talent on a random independent show. What about all the NXT people that are just beating their wrestlers like a drum constantly? Fucking Ariana Grace has never won a match on WWE TV, I don't think, or at least hadn't won a match on WWE or a singles match on WWE TV until she won the Knockouts Championship. It's surely that you should have an issue with that, surely, but no, because, this cock's not going to suck itself, that kind of mantra for their... WWE might as well be wearing that shirt on every single time they visit a TNA program.
Well, that's why I'm hoping that this is just it's a decision from WWE, because I don't want to believe that the delusion is there that, we can't have our people losing AEW people. We're TNA. We're the number 2. You're not. I want to. It's a lot easier to believe it's just a WWE call.
God, I really wish that there was some kind of thing that would force people to not be able to bullshit and just lie and do corporate speak and stuff. It'd be so refreshing, even if it was just for 1 year, for people to be for Silva to be WWE told us that they didn't want this and we wouldn't have an issue, or we would have an issue for this reason or whatever, but that's what happened. Because it's anyone with a brain can see behind a lot of corporate speak, and if you say the partners thing, yeah, it's WWE then. It's not anybody else. Nobody else is going to be well, we bought advertisement space on an episode of TNA Impact, and when we're advertising fucking whatever Domino's pizza's out now or whatever, we don't want the AEW match. That doesn't make it. It's not a partner in that fashion. So it's it's WWE didn't want that. So just fucking admit it. If you can admit that your ticket prices are too goddamn high, can't you admit that you don't want the talent to cross over with AEW? Huh?
Just don't like saying those letters. But
yeah, because right now they're doing they don't exist.
Yeah.
And I don't
childish
like
and
that
stupid.
Company. I like a small thing, but they did a video package for MJF on Dynamite, you could have shown him beating up CM Punk. I don't think it's bad to say that CM Punk existed. Like, I don't like this pretend. Well, you can't show them. Can't say AEW. Can't like. Well, why? Like, I thought you liked the Attitude Era. They were saying WCW fucking left and right on Raw back in those days because they were losing.
I mean, the issue just at the crux is not even just about how like the AEW and TNA relationship and like just preventing their wrestlers competing because they just don't like the opinion. Like these shows, these independent shows that have booked these guys to have this match, like they're now out main events. These are matches that people pay tickets to go see that match. They wanted to see MJF versus Nick Nemeth. They wanted to see Ricochet versus Leon Slater.
Do you enjoy watching movies featuring beautiful girls spreading their legs wide every night?
Nick Nemeth, they wanted to see Ricochet versus Leon Slater. That's like, they were the draws for the show, the main draws for it. And like, MJF is still going to go to the Creator Pro show, and I assume Ricochet will still wrestle on it if he can get involved still. Maybe even Leon's like, maybe they still will wrestle just with different people, but it's a case of, those were, you know, these small promotions who are got no say in the issues that TNA have with AEW and or WWE have with AEW and using TNA as the prop for it. Like, they'd have no say in how the rest get booked. So it also like creates a situation where they have to be careful about who they book and when they book them and why they book them, because now they can't just say, oh, we'd love to put this match together and let's just talk to two guys. Now they have to be, oh, we'd love to put this match together, but can we do that? Because our TNA going to be happy without that. Like, do we have to talk to all parties about it, about whether they're going to be available and who goes over? Is that going to be a big conversation? Is that going to be an issue now? It's like, it's so, just makes things so much harder for those indie promotions to book top talent when they're available. So, over just stupid, like, bullshit politics behind the scenes between, like, the top company. Because it's like, this is nothing to do with, this is not AEW's side. This is not AEW. AEW don't care about this stuff. They want to have their wrestlers appear on the indies. They like it or they don't care. They don't stand in their ways. This is purely a WWE and TNA thing that's just fucking over the fans of these promotions and just the independent promotions in general.
Yeah, fans don't get anything out of this whatsoever. And, you know, you can try to switch the card up a little bit or whatever, but, like, it's not going to be what they bought the tickets for. And it sucks, because that just makes everybody else look bad. So.
My thing is, like, if you're gonna do that, if you're gonna be in this age of, like, talent can work indies and talent can have dual contracts, if you're gonna try to play the exclusivity game, you better be paying a lot of money, and I doubt that they are.
Yeah, so, you know, if you're getting some kind of indie AEW, WWE, TNA crossover thing anytime soon and you're interested in buying tickets, keep in mind it might get pulled. For anybody that's curious on that front. Don't buy some event thinking you're going to get MJF versus Nick Nemeth and then be disappointed that they don't go through with it, you know?
Or if a match like that is happening, you already know the result because the TNA guy is probably going over.
Yeah, that's a good point, yeah. So let's talk about some AEW stuff around this out. We've got quite a bit to talk about on the AEW front. Between updates to the Dynasty card, we got spoilers for Collision. We got some unfortunate news about Kyle Fletcher, starting off this episode of Dynamite, that he is indeed injured enough with a torn meniscus, I believe is what it was, that he is vacating the AEW TNT Championship, and that is going to be settled in a Casino Gauntlet match for the pay-per-view, which right now we know the first number entrant and the second entrant, based off of the spoilers, which if you don't really want to know, it's not that big of a deal. Tommaso Ciampa, and we would assume Mascara Dorado is probably going to be in it, and Anthony Bowens and Roosh are the two fighting for the number 2 spot. It sucks that Fletcher is not on the card, and it sucks that he's not going to be a champion, you know, with this whole title thing and all. And they also had said, because I might as well just loop this together, Don Callis was trying to say that the plan was Proto Okada against the Young Bucks, and that changed to Konosuke Takeshita teaming up with Kazuchika Okada. And the implication, which isn't like a full-blown stipulation to it, like not all in the graphic itself, but basically putting it out there that if, what do we call him, Takada? Something like that. That they work together, and if they beat the Young Bucks, that Takeshita might get a title shot for the International Championship.
He will get the shot at Double or Nothing. They said it already.
They said it very specifically like that? Okay.
They said he will get the shot at Double or Nothing.
Okay.
Which means I am now led to believe that they will win the match. so that match is just set for Double or Nothing.
Part of me still thinks that he won't get that match. Because it is a little bit weird that they started it off being like, yeah, you're not going to get that match for a while, and then later on in the same show being like, I mean, it could be at the next pay-per-view. Yeah. But, it wouldn't surprise me if they did just do that, but...
Photos deleted 10 years ago. Don't worry, photo recovery is here. Download for free.
It started it off being like, yeah, you're not going to get that match for a while, and then later on in the same show being like, I mean, it could be at the next pay-per-view. Yeah. But, it wouldn't